Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of DHS Sports Center. Today, I am joined by JV volleyball coach Mrs. Jessica Lassey and senior volleyball captain Lauren Augusto. I also am debuting my new segment called Will's Weekly Sports News, where I talk about some news going on in my favorite professional sports. All that and more on DHS Sports Center.
Hi, what can I get for you today?
Can I please have a coffee?
One coffee, coming right up. Here's your coffee. Enjoy.
This coffee was amazing, thank you.
Thank you, have a good day.
You too.
You want restaurant quality coffee? Then sign up for our cafe delivery service every Tuesday.
Check weekly for the Google form in your email to sign up.
All right, and we are back. I am very happy to be joined today by Mrs. Lassey, the coach of the DHS volleyball team, and senior captain Lauren Augusto. So my first question for you guys is, how do you think the team has been performing so far this year?
I think we've been playing really well. We only lost 3 seniors from last year and only added 1 new person. So we still have that connection that we had from last year. Yeah. And we're 3-1 so far, and we've had a great start to the season.
We've also really amped up our schedule this year so that we have some of the tougher teams in order to be ready for tournament. So we did take our first loss on Friday to Westboro, but they were second in the state last year, so I'll take that.
Nice. And going off what Lauren said, how do you think the change has been from losing last year's seniors to this year?
It's been a bit of a change. You know, we had a couple really key players, especially like Sorrell, who went D1 now. So losing her was really difficult for us. We loved her as a person. She was a great player. But we've really had to fill in the gaps, and we've had a lot of really good players to really help us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say in the off season, a lot of, the seniors and the juniors have really stepped up. Skill level has made huge jumps. So to replace 3 seniors is always tough, and then to have one of those be a key starter.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of how hard the girls have worked in the off season. I mean, some of my players from last year, non-recognizable this year. They're so talented. Yeah. It's really great.
Yeah. And with the departure of last year's seniors, have there needed to be any new position changes or any new?
Yeah, we've had a couple position changes. We've had a couple people who are middle move outside. We even had one middle, Gabby Velasquez, move to libero this year, and have some juniors stepping up into the middle. And just overall, we've switched around a couple things.
Yeah, for Gabby especially, it's a huge change. She was one of our key hitters, and now she is our solid defensive player. She is unstoppable back there. It's really amazing to see. And she's taken that role with such poise. I mean, it's not always easy to take a glory position and give it up for something that's less exciting, but yet nothing could happen for us if we didn't have those passes. So she's still a very big part of our team.
Yeah. And with this year's team, are there any specific games you guys are looking forward to?
We just played Westboro. We were looking forward to it or dreading it. I'm not really sure which, but I know we are amped up to play Barnstable. They are usually our nemesis of the season, and then I know I'm excited to see us play Vogue because they like to be, they're a little bit louder of a team and intimidating, and to take their, their spice away because we're starting to dominate is always a great game to watch.
Yeah. And you saying Barnstable was a rivalry game almost for you. Are there any other teams that you guys really maybe haven't done so well in the past against that you want to get back at this year, or?
I think even today, our game away against Oliver Ames, they took us out of the 2019 tournament season. So we're really looking forward today to really have our revenge game.
Yeah. And Lauren, this question specifically for you. You are, a senior captain now. Does that create a new level of responsibility towards the younger kids, you being the captain?
It definitely does. I mean, I always try to make myself approachable to the JV players, the freshman players, because I know that that's what the captains did for me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And being the setter, I definitely feel like I have a big responsibility. I run the court. I can't have an off day, because if I'm off and the rest of the team won't have anything to help them win the game. So I really have a sense of responsibility to connect with my team and really be the best player that I can be.
Yeah. And I know in volleyball, like, communication is a very important, skill to have. Do you guys think you and your team communicate pretty well on the court?
Yeah, we definitely communicate well on the court. Sometimes we can always be a little better, but we're pretty loud and we love each other as a team. So we're really good at communication.
Yeah. And, you and the other seniors on the team, does this year, obviously being your senior year, have a new level of excitement for you guys? Do you feel like it creates a new barrier of wanting to do even better than you did previously?
It definitely does. I've known most of these girls since I was in kindergarten, elementary school.
Yeah.
And me and Crane being captains this year, I think it really pushes us to do the best that we can and really try to win as many games as possible.
Yeah. And Miss Lassey, would you say the seniors of the team are, work together to, perform as the best team they can?
I think the 5 seniors are amazing role models. I think that even off the court, they are some of the best humans that I know.
Yeah.
But as the captains, I think Ava and Lauren are a great balance for things. Ava's a little bit more loud, where Lauren's a little bit more subdued when it comes to being approachable. I think that Lauren especially is she's one of those people that no matter what, she's going to give you 100%. So to have that out there, she's had injuries that she's fought through. She's had bad days she's fought through. I think that the seniors are a key group, and I think Lauren really leads that as far as the role model. She's just, in any area, you will not find Lauren Augusto lacking. So.
And, this year's team is obviously, with the 5 seniors you said, pretty special. Do you think this year's team compares, differently to a previous year? You think there's a different level of, you guys think you are a different team than you were last year? You think you guys are almost better?
From a coach's perspective, there's always a difference every year. Even though we've only added one person, it's a change in dynamic, it's a change in personalities. But I could not be more proud of our program. I think that the girls always handle themselves with respect, and my sister loves the phrase, we are always classy, never trashy. There are some schools, unfortunately, we go to where the fans, for example, are not always so supportive. So I think that our girls are always good-natured, but every year is slightly different. So we've got a different seasoning this year to us.
Yeah. And a certain question that I had coming into this interview, where's the farthest you guys travel for a game, an away game?
I don't know.
Westboro.
Westboro?
But it was about an hour and 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah. Because I know you guys play down the Cape and stuff. I just, these away games can be challenging for every sport basically, but I think Westboro is definitely a drive up there.
Yeah.
But these home games, do you guys feel your crowd supports you guys? Do you think you guys create a lot of energy in the gym for the crowd to?
I'll let Lauren take that as a player.
I think we definitely do. We always try to get as many of our friends out there, but sometimes due to other sports we can't. But I always feel really supported by our parents out there. I always hear the whole team's parents cheering us on, and JV and freshmen. I can really feel the energy and support from them while I'm on the court.
Yeah. That was actually leading me into my next question. Where do you have any people in particular that you think make you want to perform your best and inspire you to do better?
They really do, especially my family, my dad and my grandfather, they both played volleyball. So I'm, I guess, a 3rd generation volleyball player. So they really like to coach me on the sidelines, and they always have something to say when I come home, but it's always constructive, and I think it really inspires me to be better, and it really helps me to be a better player.
Yeah.
And our girls in our program, I mean, I'm the JV coach. My little sister is the head coach, which always makes for an interesting dynamic as an older sibling. But my parents, both being retired, they come to every single game. And it's not because we're there, it's because of the girls and how much energy they put out. So I know one of our super fans would probably be Haley Jenkins' father. He is probably the most vocal out there. He has great sound effects, and I know when Haley hears him, it just fires her up. So I got to give him a shout out.
Well, I can tell you for viewers who aren't able to go to your home games, one being my sister in particular, who played all 4 years at the high school, you do have a lot of fans outside of the gym that are definitely watching, on YouTube and watching your games. So, creating that support even outside of the gym must be very nice for the team. Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show today. I appreciate this interview.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah. Hi, and welcome to my new segment, Will's Weekly Sports News, where I talk about the big news of what happened in the past week with some of my favorite professional sports. To start off, Week 2 of the NFL is underway. The New England Patriots squeaked out a 17-14 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patriots quarterback Mac Jones threw for 252 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Moving on, San Francisco 49ers quarterback Trey Lance suffered a gruesome ankle injury against the Seattle Seahawks. Trey will be having surgery on his ankle, sadly ending his season. And if you benched Tua Tagovailoa in fantasy this week, you might just be crying right now, after Tua put up 469 passing yards with 6 touchdowns in the Dolphins' 42-38 win over the Baltimore Ravens. And what is going on with the Cincinnati Bengals? Starting off 0-2 just after facing the Rams in the Super Bowl last year. Let's hope we can all see the Joe Burrow we saw in last year's postseason going forward. Moving on from the NFL, on Saturday night we saw the fight that people have been asking for 4 years now. The trilogy fight between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin for the undisputed super middleweight title. Alvarez ended up taking the victory over Golovkin by unanimous decision. This fight ended the rivalry between the Mexican and Kazakhstani boxers, with their series ending in a draw in the first fight, and Canelo winning the second and third fight. Canelo currently sits at number 4 on DAZN's men's pound-for-pound boxing list. I'd say if Dimitri Bivol beats Gilberto Ramirez in November, then Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol 2 is the fight to make. In addition to Saturday night, UFC Vegas 60 had a banger in the bantamweight division between the number 4 ranked bantamweight Corey Sandhagen and the number 11 ranked bantamweight Song Yadong. Sandhagen defeated Song after a round 4 TKO by doctor stoppage. Before the stoppage, Sandhagen led significant strikes with a 42%, while Song Yadong was 2 for 2 on takedowns. After the fight, Sandhagen called out both Marlon Chito Vera and Murad Divalishvili. If Dana White and Sean Shelby decided to make one of those fights, it will most likely be for a number 1 contender spot and next up for the bantamweight title shot. And finally, in the MLB, New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge is on pace to hit 60 home runs this season. He currently sits at 59 homers and is seeming more and more likely that Judge will be winning American League MVP. That's all we have for Will's Weekly Sports News. Stay tuned for next episode. Thank you for watching today's episode of DHS Sports Center. Next episode, I'll have an interview with players from the DHS golf team. Subscribe to DHS TV Media if you'd like to see more from DHS Sports Center. Thank you for watching.